Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Sophia Lucia Parola, your host. It is the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival this year, 2024. We have 200 films from 14 countries, all various types of films, levels of experience. We got features, shorts, animations, music videos, pilots, you name it. It's going to be a wonderful year once again. And one of the screenings you can check out this year is a short film called The Handyman. Here to talk with me about the film is the writer, director, DP, and editor, Adam Worth. Adam, hello.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me, and congratulations on making The Handyman and getting accepted into Garden State.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm really excited to talk to you about this film. But before we get into it, can you just do a little introduction of yourself for our audience?
Sure. I'm a director and DP from Ocean Township, New Jersey, and I am a five-time New York Emmy winner, and I have a background in video journalism and documentary, and that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, that's about it, he says. That's amazing. Snaps all around. A lot of that stuff I knew from reading your bio, except for the fact that you're from Ocean Township. So you're a New Jersey native?
Very much so. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, this makes it even better. I love my New Jersey filmmakers. So, Adam, can you tell us about The Handyman?
So, yes, The Handyman is a short film, very short film that is very special to me because it stars my dad, Richard Worth, as the handyman. Okay, he's also a handyman in real life, but this film is not a documentary or anything like that. It is more of a drama action type of short. It kind of in the spirit of recent films like The Beekeeper, The Bricklayer. Okay, now the preceding all these was my film, The Handyman.
That is amazing. Is that a joke or really yours was before all that? I
I
don't know
mean,
the other film references.
they didn't notice my film. I don't know if it
Well, they should have.
was.
It's their loss. I love it. I really loved this film. It's yeah, you're right about that short. It's like under 2 minutes, but it's
Mhm.
it's the perfect amount of time. And yeah, I'm just really excited to talk to you about it. And you said a little bit of the inspirations, but I'm wondering the inspiration for this story. I know your dad's a handyman, but like, why did you want to tell this story and make a short film?
Um, well, it's obviously my dad has always been sort of a muse, I guess, in the videos that I have created. On my Instagram, we've done a lot of sort of comedy videos together, my dad and I. Um, and so this was a foray into something a little more serious. Um, and sort of in this era of superhero movies, I like to think that this film sort of asks the question of who is the real superhero in today's world, and then one interpretation, not to try to interpret my own film for everyone, but one interpretation might be that our blue collar workers and our everyday frontline people like myself and my dad are the real heroes who we should be putting up, making statues of, the Rocky Balboa type statue. So yeah, that's I guess was the reasoning behind the film.
I love that. And I love that you just said that too, because I watched the film and I really enjoyed it. But now that you said that, my dad's not a handyman by trade, but he really is that person we call when anything's going wrong in the house. And I don't know what I would do without him. So I agree. Who's the real superhero? I think Handyman's on the list. Love that. So you wore all the hats basically for this project. And I know you're a five-time Emmy winner, but is this usual for you to really kind of do all of that, all the work?
Um, yeah, well, yeah. My business partner Reggie helped us doing as a grip and sound, kind of helping out on this film. This was a zero budget
Mhm.
movie, so kind of a family project, I guess you might say. So I wore all the hats that for that reason, but also yeah, I do often work on projects in this area in New Jersey for businesses and corporations and documentary stuff where I'm sort of a one man band. But that's not to say I haven't done some of the work I'm most proud of with a small crew, gaffers and sound guys and grips, usually also from New Jersey, who I've worked with a number of times, who I would be very hesitant to leave out of that answer. But for this particular one, yeah, I wore all the hats, and kind of coming from a background of local videography, so and news, coverage as like a field producer. I come from a background of one man band, sort of shooter, producer, editor type of thing, as opposed to a background of you know film with a large team, which, not to disparage that, I would love to do more stuff with a large team. And obviously, that has a lot of its advantages. So, not to say this is a better method at all, more of a necessity, I guess,
Mhm.
working as a filmmaker in New Jersey.
Right.
That's kind of how I got my start.
Especially with zero budget, you didn't have that many people to pay.
Yeah, no, so I didn't really want to make any phone calls.
Yeah. So how was the process and how long did filming take?
So the process was pretty much my dad being flexible and understanding, not really knowing what I was doing. And
Mm,
he's a handyman, he's not an actual actor. So he has a lot of trust in my process, and a lot of trust in me, I guess, to just sort of you know, stand there and do the same thing over and over again, like an actor might. Seemed, I think, a little out of his comfort zone. But
mm,
again, he took my word for it, and did just kind of do multiple takes of everything, even though that's not normally how he does his handyman things. But so it really just involved a lot of my dad, sort of, like I said, just kind of taking my word for it that this is going to look cool in the end. And I know it feels a bit silly right now. So I have to give all credit to him as just being
mhm.
flexible, understanding, and sort of trusting of what is probably, a strange thing to be doing for someone who doesn't work in film.
I mean, huge shout out to your dad because I knew that from seeing Richard Worth. I was like, all right, it's either his brother or his dad or something. But I can't believe he's never been an actor or he's not an actor. He really has that presence. And is this his voice that we hear in the voiceover as well?
No, so
Okay.
he would like to hear. He would very much like to hear that. I did. I
Please.
did.
Yeah.
I did use a voiceover artist. Yes, I'm glad you added that. I forgot to mention that. So I did have someone record the voiceover. I recorded the sort of a scratch voiceover first, and I was like not all that thrilled with it. I didn't feel like it met the tone. So we got a voiceover artist who has a lot of sort of presence and
Mhm.
gravitas, and sort of the film. I was kind of like trying to go for a bit of a Liam Neeson kind of, in
Yes.
Taken kind of
I've
vibe,
seen
like
that.
turning my dad into a bit of a Liam Neeson character for this movie. So I got a voiceover artist who has that sort of bold and deep presence that
Yeah.
I maybe don't have quite the same.
I
But
mean, perfect casting for the voice, I must say. He was phenomenal, it really matches the way your dad looks. So I was fooled that it was him talking. But either way, shout out to your dad because he was amazing in this. And I'm glad you said like the Nielsen thing because I see this going a lot of places. Like I was like, is this about to break into like some kind of like series about like some thriller or a feature? Do you see this going anywhere? Like, do you see this being the start of something bigger?
that would be great. And yeah, I mean, it was sort of made to kind of look like it feels like a trailer to a feature length movie, and that was kind of what I was going for, to leave people, wanting more of it, I guess, would be great. So, like, if we had uh if we were so inclined, I would have made a whole action movie,
Ooh, yeah.
called The Handyman with my dad. But that was a little far fetched for the moment. But so I do definitely see this as sort of a trailer or a short for something that would eventually be a longer form thing. So that's exactly the kind of reaction I'm hoping for from the audience. Is like, I want to see more of this. I would like to see a feature.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm open to all conversations about that.
I love that, and I have no doubt that those conversations will happen at Garden State Film Festival because I'm just one person and I really have no power. So hope
Very
someone with power can see this and think the same thing. I do want to ask you because you were DP on this, and something that's really cool is like you use different forms of media. We have like footage, and I think there was like film on there. Can you tell me about what it was like filming this and using
Yeah.
those media?
So yeah, I shot it on digital and I shot it on 16 millimeter, and I used a camera called a small camera called the Kodak Model K, I think, from the 30s or 40s.
Wow.
Um, I can get it. Should I get it? It'll take like 2 seconds.
2 seconds? No, we got 2 seconds. We got 2 seconds. It's really cool, guys. I guess I should fill in the 2 seconds talking, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely
All right.
worth seeing this.
All right. So here's the film camera.
Oh, wow.
So nothing fancy, right? So it says Cine Kodak, right? That's the camera. So we shot it on, digital, and we used this, which is actually a hand-me-down from a family member who's this belonged to her grandfather. So she kind of
Wow.
gave it to me, and I put some film in it, and it still worked. And then we went and we shot, some of the scenes in the Handyman with this camera here. So it's kind of tricky because it's not a reflex camera. Like, you can't look
Yeah.
down. So you have to measure the focal distance with the tape measure,
Mhm.
and you very much kind of don't know what you're gonna get. So
I've seen someone use something like that. Is there a crane with that, or that's
yeah, so that's how you
Oh, right, that yeah, wow.
you
Is this the
wind it
first time
up,
you used
and
that
then you hit the button, and
in
it's
this
sort of
wow. Free
so.
free tutorial over here, guys. And have you used this camera before, or is this the first time you used it in this project?
I tested it or used it. Yeah, I tried it out once with like just making some home movies to kind of make sure it worked. And so yeah, I had used it once basically around the house.
Uh-huh.
I had never used it. Well, I think I may have used it in a client's video for a couple of little shots, but um, nothing really significant. No, this was pretty much the first time I used this camera in any kind of substantial way. But it actually, I was surprised that it's very, it's amazing that it's almost 100 years old, and
Yeah,
film is digital. They're still trying to catch up and emulate the look of film,
yeah.
even in cheap 60 millimeter film cameras like this. It still has a sort of a quality that, like you mentioned, it's kind of unmistakable and just kind of cool.
Mhm. Absolutely, and that's not cheap anymore, right? Like, that's something you definitely wanna I think it's not, right? Like, you wanna that's a good investment,
No, yeah,
keeping it
like
and once keeping
it's
that forever.
seen them on eBay for like $20, but I've also seen
Really?
it for a couple $100. But to
Yeah,
get it developed is and
right.
buy the film
Wow.
is a lot more than that. But yeah, you could still, but you also maybe don't want to get this one because, like I said, you can't really look through it. So you
I
might want
mean,
to spend a little more money and get one you can look through.
it looks great in this film, and I could imagine kind of that, like, anxiety after developing it and seeing what it actually looks like, and it seemed like it all worked out really well with the handyman, so
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, so yeah, definitely with an old camera like that, hand-me-down camera, non-professional camera, you're on the edge of your seat when that like when that disc comes back in the mail, that everything's sort of turned out, because yeah, you can't look through it. You don't
Mhm.
really, it's tricky to focus. I'm shooting like by myself, like you said. So um luckily it worked out. But I also had digital camera backup. I can't lie. I was like also shooting
Yeah.
digital. So I didn't have all my eggs in that basket, necessarily. I wouldn't have done
Well,
that.
I mean, I don't know how great of a filmmaker you'd be without having a little plan B just in case you have to prepare for the inevitable. So we
Yes.
know these things. I mean, it's been so great talking to you and hearing more about the handyman. My last question for you is how you heard about Garden State Film Festival and how you feel having the handyman screen here this year.
I was at the very first Garden State Film Festival, being a local to here in Asbury Park. I have known about the Garden State Film Festival, I would like to think, forever. And
Wow.
I had some films in there years and years ago, and this is maybe I'm guessing, but it might be my fourth or fifth, time with a film in the festival, and something like that. But definitely as a filmmaker, who grew up here and lives here in Neptune currently, um, the Garden State Film Festival is not something I ever have taken lightly. It's always been. I was thrilled that it started coming around, and it's been thrilling to sort of watch it grow and explode and become sort of the massive festival, the premier festival of New Jersey, and kind of feels definitely like a hometown festival to me. So I'm always trying to make sure that something I've done that in the previous year, I'm able to submit to the Garden State Film Festival. God forbid it goes on without me, I would have some FOMO for real.
Adam, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm grateful that you do consider us this like hometown film festival because it really is. And what a pleasure and honor that I get to talk to you who went to the first ever. And now
Oh,
it's the
thanks so
22nd
much.
annual. That's insane.
What, has it been that long? Maybe I didn't go to
Yeah,
the
it's
first
been
one. Oh
22
my god.
years.
No, I take that back. That's I'm
Yeah,
not.
no, no, you can't take it back. It's recorded. This will
I
forever
think
be
I
on
was
the internet.
at the first one. Unfortunately, I'm that old. Yeah, so
Wow. No, that is so cool, Adam. I mean, I can't wait to meet you because I'm assuming you're going to be here at your screening at the Garcia Film Festival this year, right?
definitely. And so will the handyman himself. My dad, Richard Worth, the star of the film, is also going to be there.
Oh no, he better get business cards because either they're gonna want it for handiwork or in his next film because this guy, I
Yeah,
see it all.
he
Uh,
he is
thank you
available
again.
too.
Thank you, Adam. Congratulations. Let me tell everyone watching how you can watch The Handyman and meet Richard Worth himself. It will be screening Saturday, March 23rd in the film block, 11:45 to 2 p.m. in Asbury Lanes. Get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. I actually think I'm in a short that's in the same film block, if I'm not wrong. So I may be at the screening. And
Fantastic.
yes, it'll be a true pleasure to meet you and your dad. And thank you again, Adam.
Thank
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
All right. I'll see you guys at the festival. Bye.